Hi, my name is Tyler, and I am a teaching artist at the New Victory Theater. Today, we are going to do an activity that is inspired by Juneteenth. For this activity, we are going to examine and interpret the work of an African American poet, put those words into our bodies, and discuss our findings with our loved ones. Throughout the activity, I want you to ask yourself, what is liberation? What is social justice? And how can the arts, in this case, movement and poetry, help to either begin or broaden a conversation around those themes? At any point in this activity, you are encouraged to pause and reflect with your loved ones. Now, the first step in this activity is going to involve listening. I will now read the poem Awaking in New York by Maya Angelou. Awaking in New York. Curtains forcing their will against the wind. Children sleep, exchanging dreams with seraphim. The city drags itself awake on subway straps, and I, an alarm, awake as a rumor of war, lie stretching into dawn, unasked and unheeded. Now that you've listened to the poem read through once, you might be asking yourself some questions. For example, what was the poet trying to say? Or what images popped into my mind while I was listening to that poem? Now, I want you to listen to the poem again, but this time I want you to write down any words that stood out to you from the piece. You may choose to also write some phrases, but I ask that you keep those phrases to no more than 2 words. Really challenge yourself. All right, listen again. Awaking in New York. Curtains forcing their will against the wind. Children sleep, exchanging dreams with seraphim. The city drags itself awake on subway straps, and I, an alarm, awake as a rumor of war, lie stretching into dawn, unasked and unheeded. Now it's time to focus our lists. I want you to select 3 words from your list that you would like to explore in our next steps. And don't share them yet because you'll get a chance to do so later. Step 1, I want you to look at your 3 words and think about their meaning to you now that you've heard the piece 2 times. Step 2, I want you to physically embody each of your words by making a tableau or a frozen picture. While you're making your frozen picture, I want you to ask yourself some questions. For example, what emotional quality, if any, am I trying to convey with my pose? Also, what is my face doing while I'm making my pose? And last but not least, and you are also encouraged to think about more, I want you to ask yourself, is my face changing from pose to pose? All right, go ahead and make your poses. Here are some examples of tableaus for the poem Awaking in New York by Maya Angelou. First tableau. Sleep. Sleep. Second tableau. Forcing. Forcing. Third tableau. I. All right, now I'm going to show you those tableaus again, and I'm going to move from 1 to 2 to 3 without words. Here we go. All right, now you take some time and make your tableaus. Now that you've created your poses, you're ready for our third step, which is to share and reflect. Now, your sharing could look like a variety of different things. For example, you could choose to share one word at a time and bounce back and forth from person to person, or you could choose to share one person at a time and show all three of your poses silently while moving throughout. I encourage you to share in whatever way feels most successful and honest to you. For your reflection, I want you to ask questions around what you saw and how it made you feel. Thank you for joining me today. I encourage you to try this activity with other great literary pieces or quotes that you may know. Please utilize this work as a conversation starter around larger themes such as liberation, social justice, Juneteenth, interpreting language, or how the arts impact and reflect our daily lives. I'll leave you with this quote. In times of great crisis, the wise build bridges while the foolish build barriers.